hand the show over to Al and not do anything for the next half an hour.
What a life. What a life, folks.
Hey, I did my part. Bo did his part. Now it's on her.
My obligations are fulfilled.
Yup.
PWN claims WWE is working on creating United States and Intercontinental titles for the women's division. Yay!
Do they need more belts?
They need more women's belts? Yes.
In this case, yeah, these belts are okay.
Yeah. I've been lobbying for this for a while, that you need a women's mid-card for like years at this point. Just for the sake of, you cannot go from being tag team champions, like logistically, you cannot go from being a pretty cool tag team to all of a sudden just being like in the main event scene, because it's failed every single time. How about we just use the tried and true formula that's kind of worked for years, where you have a mid card, you kind of build up somebody that way, or it's sometimes rebuild somebody who was a top, who was a person on the top of the card, and then you kind of rebuild their brand a little bit, and then you can, you kind of push them. My only gripe with this whole thing is that I understand we kind of want to do kind of a mirroring thing if this is legit, with whatever the men have, the women have as well. However, I still think, so I'm about to do a list like I'm a fucking rack. I still think that there needs to be a little bit of a name change. Like, you can have a women's television title, or I think I called it a couple years back, do the women's evolution title or something, like something totally that's unique to women. Because, it's getting almost confused for me, like, oh, we're going for a North American title in NXT. Which one? The men or the women? Like, give them unique names for their belts. Don't just be a copycat of what the men have been doing.
So, yes, they do need belts for the women.
Continuing.
Because unlike the Rack, right, where, the Rack, he is gender fluid, he is trisexual, like all of these things. The genders are separated in WWE, right? Like, the belts for the men don't also count for the belts for the women, and we need to be equal in all things. So why would not the women have as many belts as the men have, right? That makes sense to the Rack. It should make sense to all of you. And if you don't agree with the Rack, you are an asshole. That is all the Rack has to say.
Rack, in all due respect, nothing that you say ever makes sense sometimes.
That made
sense. Jack Bo, in all due respect, I would like to fuck your face.
Okay. Awesome. Now we know. New kink unlocked for the Rack. He likes to be disrespected.
Daddy Meltzer said on Wrestling Observer Radio that WWE is confident that CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre will happen at SummerSlam, but it's not 100% because it still depends on Punk getting cleared in time. He fucking better.
Around here, we stand CM Punk, long-standing CM Punk fans. Since about November.
Honestly, same boat.
I'm still not on the Punk.
Before Matt Ritter makes his triumphant return to talk about his buddy CM Phil, I was a big proponent in saying that as long as one Phil Brooks is good for money, I will be a CM Punk fan. And since his return, he has done nothing but help elevate people in WWE. He was training, he's producing, he's backstage in NXT. He's doing an amazing job with this story with Drew. Like, he's tied in fucking Seth Rollins now. Like, I would love to get CM Punk and Drew McIntyre at SummerSlam. 1,000%, especially since I'm going to be in the building for it. Mateo, you have a little bit of thing, don't you? You and Punk, y'all are from the same city, I think, right?
Something like that. Listen, first and foremost, as Katie said there, no one should be paying $15 a month for rumors and speculation from one Dave Meltzer. Nor should Dave really talk about anything in WWE anymore. He has nothing relevant or of importance to say, add, or comment on when it comes to WWE. And Brian Alvarez just shouldn't speak ever again. Like,
or write a book.
Period. Yeah, ever. I have been trying to get everyone on the Punk train, and a few of you have hopped along with us, and I appreciate that. I told everyone when he was in AEW and when he left AEW, I was like, it's going to be good shit. And they're like, we'll see. And so far, I have not been wrong. And I said, if he fucks up here again, and if he is the problem, I will be the first to admit it. And so far, he has been good. He has not been an issue, and he is making fucking money and entertaining as all hell. So again, even though he's held together by bubblegum and Band-Aids, I hope he gets it fixed and gets it good so we can get that match at SummerSlam, because that's what we've been building to. That's the whole point of all this.
Listen, CM Punk is, if I put on my therapist hat real quick, CM Punk in the Indies and AEW was the rebellious child who just wanted to be loved by their father for so long and did everything he can for years and years to finally get his attention. And he got the attention, and now he is happy again. And he is behaving like he's supposed to. He got what he wanted. He got the attention, the love, and the adoration. And now he is doing what he should have been doing for a very, very long time. He finally got rewarded for somewhat shitty behavior, but he finally got what he wanted. Punk and Drew is going to happen at SummerSlam. I think CM Punk is kind of pulling the wool over everybody for a while. Even if it doesn't happen, there is something in October called Bad Blood, and CM Punk and Drew McIntyre are tailor-made to main event that event in a structure where you cannot get out of. Unless
Taylor Swift singing the theme song for the paper.
No, goddamn, don't you take this away from hip-hop. Metro Boomin is on promotional tour. No, not on Beyonce's internet tonight. No. Metro Boomin is the hip-hop super producer. He is sponsoring Bad Blood in Atlanta. We are not doing this. Hip-hop only gets one pay-per-view at least in WWE a year. Give us this one.
Just so...
We did just name an episode This Ain't Texas.
Now we got Bad Blood. I could listen. We could do a remix with Metro Boomin. We let him remix it.
Yeah. No, we cannot. There was already a remix. Kendrick Lamar was on, and that's the greatest hater of all time right now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Taylor Swift.
He gives me a run for my money.
No.
Yeah. Taylor Swift makes music
me want to be a better petty person.
Natty re-signed, finally.
I mean, we all saw it coming.
I was really hoping for the OnlyFans to drop, but I guess.
Yeah, right? That's where I was. I was like, when am I getting Neidhart's sister? Anyway, whatever. Okay.
Listen, I see the Instagram photo. She is teasing all of us at this point.
She's right fucking there.
She's right there. I don't know what TJ's doing wrong, but she's right there.
Joe Hendry will be featured heavily in coming weeks and months as the NXT TNA crossover continues. WWE officials want to take advantage of Hendry's knack for making even small moments go viral.
You mean like the ending of NXT Heatwave? I was already shocked that Ethan Page won, and then you showed his fucking face to end the show? Like, yeah, I was perplexed. This is the greatest thing ever. I'm about to incorporate Joe Hendry into my live stream when I return from my podcast and when I get up off my couch from playing EA Sports College Football for at least 72 hours. So, like, listen, the Joe Hendry train is real. I believe.
Ricky, I was on your show the night the NXT TNA crossover started because I literally had an aneurysm live on air. I was like,
you did surrender, Cobra. You went like this. I was like,
I think we started texting immediately. I was like, holy fuck.
I was like, he was like, where are you at? And I was like, I'm still on air with Ricky. This just happened.
Yeah,
I was like, dude, I don't want to derail your show, but Jordan Grace just walked through the curtain on NXT. He was like,
no, I was like, no, let's pivot to this. Let's go right now.
Okay, bye, Mateo.
Oh no,
he's gone. I'm so tired of that damn song. Which one?
You said "Be Right Back."
Oh, okay. Yeah, Joe Hendry's fucking money to be printed right now. Simply put,
I believe.
Yeah. That's not the right one. What the fuck?
Just leave the box empty.
Yeah, that's true. I'll just do that. There.
PW Insider says Rhea Ripley is now listed as a babyface internally at WWE while the rest of the Judgment Day is still listed as heel.
Water is what?
Weird, right?
If WWE doesn't make Rhea Ripley, remember when they did? Remember back in the day when WWE did the Leave It to Beaver character?
Yes, with one of the headbangers.
Yeah, I want Dom to turn into Leave It to Beaver. Like, that'll turn it. No, never mind. I'm not going to say that.
Liv gets Dom, and then they become this like wholesome, like black and white family in like the little cottage, like doing their promos and stuff. And it's like him sitting at the table reading a newspaper. Like, make it 180-degree opposite of the Judgment Day.
Just give me something funny.
Rhea was a face going into WrestleMania. She was arguably the hottest woman in all of WWE. Then she got abruptly injured. It's really hard for any pro wrestler to come back from an injury, an unexpected injury, and be a heel from the jump. Especially with us in the eye. It's really hard to do that. So of course she's a freaking face. We hate Dom. We kind of hate Liv, although I freaking love Liv. She's doing the best work of her career. But Rhea's going to be a face. That's a foregone conclusion. And I do love the Leave It to Beaver thing, but I clearly see Eddie and China in this whole storyline.
Yeah. Oh, here we go.
Oh, he's back. The Rack's here.
Listen, Jack, but leaving it to Beaver is what got Dom in the situation in the first place. That was the problem from the go. Leaving it to Beaver. So I think you got what you asked for.
Good point.
It's true. It's true. Dom's living the greatest life ever. He's got a wife, a girlfriend, and a mistress.
Yeah.
As somebody who's lived that life, this will not end well.
Yeah, that's not fun.
No, enjoy the nuggies and tendies and the PlayStation 5 while you can.
Listen, Will, arguably, I would say that it ended fantastic for you. I see where you are and what you are doing, and I am very happy for you and what you have. So I disagree. This is going to end great.
Circle gets the square.
Insider hinted that The Rock had to give approval to the WrestleMania 40 documentary, and that may be why it took so long for it to be released.
And then I said, let them wait 3 months before we drop the documentary. Come on.
That was a typo. It was actually The Rack had to approve the WrestleMania 40 documentary, and that is why it took so long, is because Matt Ritter would not let The Rack participate. He kept, anyway.
Let me ask you a question about the documentary, as it were. Is it just me, or did it kind of make The Rock seem a little bit like Rocky Hogan there for a minute?
Mm-hmm.
I said it when he came back. That's all he is now, is Hulk Hogan.
I mean, there's a reason that meme is never going to die, because of how, like, it's how he depicted himself, or he gave approval. It's how he depicted himself in the documentary. It made him look like kind of pompous. Like The Rock and Oprah had the Hawaii incident, and that made him look bad to regular people. This made him look bad to wrestling fans. And we're shitting on him, and we're never going to let him die. Irregardless, it's a great documentary. Tom Rinaldi as a narrator blew my mind. I was like, oh, this is really fun. Could they have done more? Could this have been done better with a 24? Absolutely. But
I haven't seen it.
It's a fun hour. But it just made like The Rock sometimes is bad at PR apologies. And Triple H did himself no favors either. In the documentary too, saying, "Oh yeah, we told Cody wasn't going to main event, and we had nothing for him." Like, that's just bad management. But overall, it's a fun doc, but it did make The Rock look kind of bad. And saying that he delayed it for 3 months, so he had to approve it, yeah, that makes it look worse.
What's crazy to me is, prior to this, they brought CM Punk back in November and then tried to do to Cody what the fuck CM Punk left and shit on the company for in the fucking first place. You promised this man a main event. You built it up for a year, and then The Rock said, "Hey, you know what? I'm free." And they're like, "You know what? Fuck you, Rock. Come on back. We're gonna put no, we don't want anyway." And then The Rock's like, "I saw the fans, and I was like, give the fans what they want.
Even if a part of the fans hate it, I can't go forward with it.
Yeah.
My God, Will, you were on my show when we talked about this thing when the main event got switched.
Yep. It's all coming long-term storytelling and podcasting, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, right. Cheap promos for my podcast,
CJ Perry was quietly released from AEW in April. Just FYI.
I mean, there's
what
nothing
I'm trying to figure out
woman.
is, hold on. Since we were talking about OnlyFans, she had previously stated the only reason that she didn't go full OnlyFans was because of Miro. Now that she's no longer with AEW and she's no longer with Miro, when are we gonna stop doing whatever the fuck you're doing and go full fledged? Like when are we?
When she stops begging Damian Priest.
Is she dating Damian Priest?
Oh, it made it look like it for a very, very long time. I have a tinfoil hat theory, but he's the reason that her marriage with Miro kind of faltered. He was always seemingly around.
Well,
and aroused.
I've heard some stories about him and some of the people in the locker room.
It's the reason he likes to wear leather.
Yeah. The bisexual Undertaker is more than a coined term.
It's a lifestyle.
Yeah.
It's a lifestyle.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
No, absolutely not.
No.
I'm just leaning into
except he hitched his wagon to Matt Riddle as well, and that's where the issue is.
Yeah, there's that.
There it is. There it is.
Yeah.
Oh, I lost a lot of respect for him. According to WrestleVotes, WWE has had significant discussions about running Survivor Series 2024 in LA, the brand new Intuit Dome, on Saturday, November 30th.
All I want to say is, did they run this by Kendrick Lamar to improve it? To improve this booking? Anything in the West Coast has to run through Kendrick Lamar. That's how
That's what I've heard.
Yeah.
It has to be approved through KDOT, or it can't be real.
I saw what he's done to a man for the last 3 months. I'm not doing anything on the West Coast unless he gives me his full approval.
For what it's worth, Daddy Meltzer confirmed that Rhea Ripley versus Liv Morgan is currently scheduled to take place at SummerSlam. It is strongly expected that Rhea will be medically cleared in time for the match.
Water's wet?
Yeah. Sweet. I think I might be looking forward to that match as much as I am Drew and CM Punk.
Cena's retirement tour is designed in part to help kick off WWE's deal with Netflix that begins in January 2025. There's a tentative schedule, including major arenas and overseas dates. WWE and Cena are currently discussing possible opponents, but nothing is locked in yet.
I will say this. I need one match with Cena's retirement tour. I need one match with Cena coming out and doing the Peacemaker dance. Cena Peacemaker, you know what I mean. I just need it once. And I will be happy.
I fantasy booked Cody Rhodes as Homelander versus Cena as Peacemaker in a match. So
it's possible, but the boys just sponsored Money in the Bank.
Exactly. We can do it. Like we
did
the Pitch Black match. We can fucking do anything. Dress them up as Homelander and Peacemaker. Let them go out there and do their thing.
Exactly. I'm all for this. Yeah, do what you need to do. Have Cena promote them going to Netflix. Okay, cool, whatever. He's not wrestling on Netflix, but he'll be there. I don't know.
Hey, he might wrestle on Netflix. He's got like 30 or 40 dates next year after they go to Netflix.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's true. He will wrestle on Netflix. So, that's why. Okay, got it. Makes more sense now.
Jordan Grace told Matt Morgan on a recent episode of Gigantic Pop that her contract with TNA expires in January.
It's random Matt Morgan reference. Haven't heard that fucking name in
right?
God knows how long.
He's a politician here in Florida.
Oh boy.
Okay, so Jordan Grace's contract up is 2025.
January of 2025.
January 20.
So when they go to Netflix,
I mean, this year has literally been a Jordan Grace WWE tryout. I expect her to go nowhere else. Nowhere else but them.
And in the Rumble?
Yeah.
She's not leaving TNA just yet.
Oh, no. But January 2025 is Rumble season, and oof.
Fightful's Sean Rossap says WWE is talking about adding a ref cam to its shows. That could happen soon. That'd be weird.
A ref cam?
A ref cam.
It's gonna look like a fucking bad episode of Cops.
There's a good episode of Cops.
No, like, I'm trying to decide if it's going to be from the ref's perspective or like on the ref.
This is like a fucking walking around with a GoPro in his head, like he's a vlogger.
This could be. Let's say this could be fairly entertaining, like bonus content for YouTube or even TikTok. Like obviously on WWE TV, they're not going to hopefully cut to the ref cam, but like do this and then you drop it. Personally, if that's the route they're going, I'd rather see it in AEW because their refs are animated and entertaining as all shit. So they're basically part of the match.
My question is, if you're going to put on ref cam on any ref, how do you like the refs in wrestling are the directors of what's going on in the ring at the time. They're listening to what's going on backstage from like the producers or whoever's doing the show and kind of communicating to the wrestlers when to do this, when to do that, so on and so forth, for the most part. So are we going to let us in on the audio too of what the ref is saying? Like there's
kick him in the face.
Yeah, they're like this goes back to our suspension of disbelief. Like we understand, everybody understands that wrestling is a staged production anywhere in pro wrestling. But in order to suspend our disbelief, you can't let us in on everything that's going on in real time. Do it at another time. Like I think it's a little bit. This is pulling the curtain back behind the trick. I don't think we need a ref cam. Would the angle be interesting? Yeah, but like if you want to see what it would look like to be a ref, get in the wrestling room, fall on the floor, and count 1, 2, 3. That's what you're seeing. There's nothing unique about that shot.
No, I agree. Variety has reported that Drew McIntyre became the latest WWE star to sign with Paradigm Talent Agency for representation in all areas of entertainment, joining Tiffany Stratton and CM Punk.
That's a big name in the
PR world, right?
Yeah, that's what we were talking about earlier when she brought it up to me. I was like, I've heard that name be brought up a bunch as far as talent agencies go.
Yeah. I'm just going to run through these last couple because I know Sir Ritter has to watch some Dragons. Fightful also says that they have confirmed that Mansoor and Mace, now Mason Madden, have signed with AEW/Ring of Honor. Their rollout in Ring of Honor as MXM or M by M?
MXM.
Yeah. Collection started last week.
We needed Fightful to report that to us because it just looked on their Twitter accounts. They did it themselves.
Yeah.
Well, RPW insider Samoa Joe was likely written off AEW television this week due to beginning shooting season 2 of Twisted Metal later this month.
Yes.
He breaks between episodes, but the show is expected to be filmed until at least October. Insider also says that a number of WWE stars auditioned for a new character named Axel, including Omos, Cedric Alexander, and Apollo Crews. However, it doesn't seem like any of them have been cast in the role.
Axel is a dope-ass character.
So the black people at WWE are using auditioned for this role is what you're telling me.
That is correct.
Hey, more power to him. I love Twisted Metal season 1. I thought it was a fantastic show. Samoa Joe is a physical actor. Perfect.
Good.
Yeah.
Danny Meltzer mentioned that Tony Khan is loading up the next 2 weeks of AEW Dynamite because TV ratings are important right now as the final payment number and time slots and all the other stuff that's going into the negotiations for AEW's new TV deal.
I'll be playing EA Sports College Football. Pretty much my next couple of weeks. I'm sorry.
And then
just go to Max already.
Right. Last but not least, matches have been pitched for Jamie Hayter's possible return to AEW. She was at an episode of Dynamite in the spring when the roster was having physicals, and the internal feeling is there has been some positive movement in her recovery from injury.
I love Jamie Hayter. Bring her back. Put her on a TV. Let's rock and roll.
What was her injury?
I forgot she wrestled.
That too. But what does anybody know what her injury was?
I think it was a knee or a shoulder, maybe.
Okay.
Mr. Ritter, did you want to say?
Oh, they never said. So Scouse.
I was just gonna say that news has given me some positive movement.
Oh, he's talking about his Willie.
His hot dog.
His hot dog.
Yeah, his hot dog. Hey, I mean, listen, they got to do something, you know. And Hayter coming back, I think, is a good sign. If she comes back in good enough time, because, you know, they got their biggest show of the year coming up soon. So better be all hands on deck.
Truth. Is that what you got for us?
That's it.
All right, Mr. Ritter, you lead us off. Plug yourself live on air and tell everybody where to find you.
As always, you guys can follow me on Twitter at Matt Rivers, MATTRDDR, for your wrestling content, at Getting Off for your horror content, and everywhere else on socials at Smackin Raw, TikTok, Instagram, Threads, and Blue Sky.
King Ricky Rose.
Ladies and gentlemen, King Ricky Rose here from Kings and Rings Podcast, a product of Wrestle Addict Radio. You can find Kings and Rings Podcast at KOTR_podcast across all social media outlets, and maybe Threads coming soon. I got to try that out. And follow Wrestle Addict Radio at addict_wrestle on Twitter, because I refuse to call it X, and at Wrestle Addict Radio, all one word, everywhere else. Like, share, subscribe. I would tell you that Kings and Rings Podcast has a show on Tuesday, but that is a total and absolute lie. I will be playing college football, EA Sports College Football on Xbox, and then Friday when I get the Standard Edition on PlayStation 5. And so if you want to, you know, beat up on Georgia like I will be doing just for Jax, you can follow me across all social media at Ambassador Biggs, BIGZ, Ambassador Biggs, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, PlayStation, Xbox, some people's DMs, less people's text messages, Ambassador Biggs.
Bo.
You find me here every Sunday for Botched Spots, Chair Shots, Tuesdays and Thursdays for Dirty News for a little bit. Tuesday nights over on Off Top Me for NXT on tap. Anywhere else, follow me on Twitter at JaxFo2020.
Listen.
You can find me on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter at JustAGirl918. All of my things are linked to the lovely bearded man in the bottom corner, so he can go through all of that, so I won't have to.
Remember to follow us anywhere you do anything on the internet. Facebook, Instagram, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Google. Literally have all the options in the links in the descriptions on both platforms you could be watching us on right now. There's one for the Discord link that is a direct link to all the hosts, producers, and content creators and minds behind Rivet City Radio and Off the Top Media. Next is the merch link. That's the cool place to get all your t-shirts and your hats and your fanny packs and boxers with all of those faces on them. Most importantly is your Amazon Prime subscription. You get a free Amazon Prime subscription every month with Amazon Prime. Go to twitch.tv on your computer and give it to your favorite Twitch streamer. Give it to us. Give it to Off the Top Media. Give it to Kings of the Ring. Give it to Creation World. Give it to Boyfriend Time. Give it to She Elite Showcase. Give it to any of my friends. As long as Jeff Bezos doesn't get it, he has too much fucking money. Ladies, gentlemen, I'm going to smoke a bowl and go watch House of Dragons. Do you guys have anything for the class?
Jacksbone, we need your Xbox handle so we can get this online dynasty going.
I will get that to you, sir.
Please do. I have the early edition, so it will be starting Tuesday. And I need an online dynasty for Xbox. I already have one for PlayStation.
Perfect. I have to wait for them to actually officially release it.
It's okay.
Show off.
Because I have no life. Don't worry about it, Jacksbone. Trust me. I haven't been outside all day. It's really hot. That's my excuse.
All right, guys. Now, as we close another episode of Botched Spots and Chair Shots, I want to take a minute. Thank you for listening. I remind you to go wherever you do anything on the internet. Like, follow, subscribe, unsubscribe, and subscribe again. Leave a comment, tell me how great I am or how terrible we sound. Either way, it helps the algorithm and helps find new listeners. If you're feeling really generous to be one of the VIP people, head over to patreon.com and donate to the Rivet City Radio Podcast Network. You get some fantastic swag. We get some fantastic guests. It's a win-win for the patron saint of podcasting, the Warden Matt Ritter, for King Ricky Rose from Kings of the Ring podcast, for everybody's favorite Ginger Ninja Jaxpo, and for the Boss Bitch Owl. I am the Will Gray. Thanks for stopping by and listening, people.
Bye.